Guys, happy Saturday. What is the crack? Coming to you live from the camper van here. Just want to put out a quick little video because markets are going crazy. We're getting a lot of new participants. Our channel is growing. We're getting loads of new subscribers, which is amazing. And I want to share with you one of, I call it Dinny's untold rule, but I've told this to hundreds. I sort of try and communicate this to all my consulting clients that I meet either at Zoom. At the moment, all I'm doing is Zoom. And if I'm home in Ireland, I'm meeting them in our office. But that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about, so you can have a little tip and you can understand more of an investor's mindset, because especially new participants, they all get this wrong, and it's the reason why none of them will retire early, and it'll take them years of losing money before they become better investors. So I want to fast track your journey in becoming a better investor, in understanding risk management, and in understanding your emotions and how they affect your decisions. And your decisions basically are your outcomes. So if you can make better decisions, you get better outcomes. And then you achieve whatever your goals are. So the first thing is, right now, if you've been part of this space, you're going to be suffering from FOMO. Okay? Not you're going to be. If you had a plan and a strategy, like I've zero FOMO, absolutely zero. All the work was done in the last 3 years. Okay? And that's fine. I'm experienced. I know what I'm doing. And I taught that to our community. And those who followed that advice are the same. They've no FOMO. They haven't had to ape into anything as it's pumping. All the work was done. Okay, that's all well and good, all right? But some of the new participants don't have that luxury. You're only finding Bitcoin. You're only falling down the rabbit hole. And you might think it's late. And I can tell you straight off the bat, in 2011, people said it was late to Bitcoin. One of my mentors told me that he was told in 2011 that people thought they were too late to Bitcoin. And he said, Dinny, for the rest of your life, it's likely that people say that every single year. But it's not the case. And that was a really important lesson. So FOMO is fear of missing out. It's when the price goes up, you think, I missed it, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Why didn't I? I was listening to these traders, they said the price is going to go down. Or I was listening to this fella and he said the price is going to go up, or whatever it happened to be. Okay? Becoming a better investor. And do me a favour, if you're here, good morning, happy Saturday. It is Saturday, isn't it? It is, yeah. Do me a favour, give the like button a nice little press, and subscribe if you haven't already, because the algorithm will show you more of these videos, and the more you learn about Bitcoin, the more you will get to understand how to invest in the space, generate wealth, and exit the rat race. Remember, there's a cohort of us who understand Bitcoin. We're retired early. We're living a different life than those people who are stuck in the rat race. And we're trying to teach us that there's a better way, and you can understand this thing, because Bitcoin's for everybody. Okay, it's people's money. But don't worry about all that philosophy just yet. Let's just get you rich. And then you'll have time. Okay? Where poor people go wrong is they only look at the past. So they look at the coulda, woulda, shoulda. They're like, well, Bitcoin is 35 grand today, but it was 3,500 only 4 years ago. Damn it, I missed it. But then if we go back when it was 3,500, we had people who said, but it was 350 euros 4 years ago. Damn it, I missed it. Okay, and if we go back then 8 years when it was 350 quid, we had people saying, but it was €3.50. Damn it, I missed it. Okay, and when Bitcoin trading at 350,000, there'll be people saying, damn it, I missed it. Okay, and this is just psychology, human psychology. All right, and we have to detach from that. That's why you study the fundamentals. You create a plan and a strategy. Okay, with risk management, and then you just action it, and then you have no FOMO. No emotional involvement whatsoever, okay? And it works beautifully. Those who don't do that and think in scarcity, like they've missed something, like, you haven't missed anything. Because even if Bitcoin is digital gold, it's worth somewhere in the region of a six-figure sum, okay? And we're nowhere near that yet, all right? That's just if it's digital gold. Now, when you do the work on Bitcoin, you realize it's so much more than digital gold. No one, like, I try and not talk in what I really think Bitcoin is worth, because it just scares people away and they just think you're an absolute nut. But in time, you'll understand what I understand, okay? And you'll think I'm less crazy. Just like when Bitcoin was €3.50 and someone said it was going to be 35 grand in the not too distant future, people thought they were insane, crazy. That's why everyone sold their Bitcoin. Why do 99% of people who own Bitcoin, when it was €3.50, not still own it? Because nobody had any idea of the potential it has. Now, though, we've better education. Okay, and we can see where this thing is going. and there's much more educators out there to teach people. So you really understand, like, this is the scarcest digital property. This is the scarcest piece of property that you can get your hands on. And every person who wants to be wealthy, all they're looking to do is own property. And the scarcer, the better. And there's nothing scarcer than Bitcoin, because the only piece of property that's finite. Okay? So that's the first thing. Change your mindset. You haven't missed anything. And I suppose I should just say, nothing on this channel is financial advice, or tax advice, or any sort of thing like that. I am a tax advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. Just some surf bum. Okay, my next point before, and I will get to my golden rule. Okay, my untold rule. I'm going to finish with that, but I want to give you the context so you can understand it. Because when I just give it to you, you won't understand it. Okay, and you'll just pass it off as fluff. Okay, just like when I spent a career in fitness helping people to change their lives, and I tried to nail the basics, and some people just want to do the fancy exercises. They want to do human flags, but they never got there because they never done the basics. They just wanted to skip the basics. Just teach me the fancy stuff, Dinny. And I was like, no, the end goal comes from the basics. You need this stuff. You need the foundation before you can build a house. But humans, and we're all guilty of this, I'm just saying, I was like, nah, screw the foundations. I don't want the boring stuff. Give me the fancy stuff. Okay? So my third point is to, if you're new, all right, and if you're new, probably means if you're within 4 years and you made a balls of the last cycle and you lost all your money on altcoins, I'd advise you to change strategy, okay, and try going Bitcoin only until you really understand the space. And there's a couple of reasons for that, okay. One is that anyone who's held Bitcoin for 4 years is richer than when they bought it, okay. That's a hard and fast rule. No guarantee it continues forever, but it's continued since Bitcoin has started, so it's a pretty good track record. Whereas in altcoins, I think there's only one altcoin that's ever made an all-time high against Bitcoin in 4 years. So you've got to be a really good trader to make money in altcoins, and you're not, okay? Unless you're a professional, you're not. All traders lose money, even professionals, okay? So that's a game where the odds are stacked against you. That's why I say traders are losers, because they lose 90 whatever percent, 95, 97, 99, I'd guess, lose money. You don't need to be a trader, because if you become an investor, you go from a 99% failure rate to 100%. 4-year investments, 100% success. That's better, guys. That's a better game to play. Okay? So that's why I say, you don't try and trade this thing. You don't need to trade it. If you're trying to trade it, you're like the person who bought Bitcoin for €3.50 and traded it. Sold it for a fiver. High-fived their mates and said, I'm a genius. Okay? Or the person who bought Bitcoin for $3,500. You know, and sold it for $6,000. Thought they were a genius. Doubled their net worth. Happy days. But they've lost out on, they could be retired early had they have had a bit more foresight and planning with their investment strategy, and their financial planning. And that's why, you know, as part of our course, we teach financial planning. We teach you how to do a financial statement, and you write the statement, and then you create your investment plan around that. But, you know, new people who come into the space will just be pulling out their phone, listen to someone on YouTube, listen to someone on some social media thing saying, buy this shitcoin, and they'll just be like spending some of their money with no idea what they're really doing. Okay? My rule that I try and communicate to people is, do me a favour, guys, hit the like button. If you are a bit shy on the like, come on, look, you stretch your index finger and you approach. Where is it? There it is. And you give it a nice little press. Boop. It helps the algorithm. It tries to push this content out. Look, we've only got 23 people here. We're going into a bull market. Okay? People are suffering from the cost of living. They need Bitcoin. Poor people need Bitcoin more than rich people. But it's all the rich people who are going to be buying it now. As soon as this spot ETF launches, it's all the wealthy people. All right, but the whole movement of Bitcoin is to fix the money and fix the world. So we need to push this content out to more people. My rule of Bitcoin is, okay, and this is where we go wrong. We want to buy Bitcoin and the price only go up. My rule is, okay, it's like, see, that's, don't know if you can see the scar on my elbow though, there. When I was a young lad, and I was interested in motorbikes and used to read magazines and everything, my dad was interested in motorbikes, he raced motorbikes. And he says to me, you're not a biker till you've lost some skin off your elbow. And I was always down, it's funny, like, I was almost down wanting to crash to get my little scar of honor, like, and I have it now. I have the scar on my elbow from crashing a motorbike, okay? Bitcoin has a rule similar to that, okay? You should buy Bitcoin, okay? And we want the price just to go up. But it's the wealthy people who have retired themselves early, have bought Bitcoin and it's gone lower. Because they understand the fundamentals. They weren't trying to buy the very bottom. They weren't trying to trade. They just dollar cost averaged. Okay, so the short-term price was irrelevant to them. Okay? Because they're more focused on the long game, guys. And that's how you have to flip your thinking. Rather than trying the very bottom of the market, okay, or being fearful that, well, I have to buy it at 35 grand. I could have bought it at 15 grand at the start of the year if I had listened to Dinny. But I tried to trade because someone was telling me it was going to 8 grand. So what do? Okay? Forget all that. That's a trading mindset. It's a losing mindset. You need to just understand, okay, this is the scarcest, most desirable piece of property. Even if it makes it to 1% of global money, it's worth 7 figures. All right, it's nowhere near there. It's a tiny little asset. So what? You didn't buy it at €3.50. So what? You didn't buy it at 350. So what? You didn't buy it at 3.5 grand. But like, are you going to keep telling this story to yourself? When it's 350 grand, will you be saying, well, so what? I didn't buy it at 35 grand. And when it's 3.5 million, are you going to be saying, well, so what? I didn't buy it at 35 grand. And when it's 35 million, are you going to be saying, that's too much? You're not ready for that. Pull back, Dinny, pull back. Let's just get it to 100 grand first. Okay? So you've got to understand that it's okay to buy Bitcoin and trade lower, because if you're an investor and you understand how to think, you think in asset terms. Okay? If you own 0.1 of a Bitcoin, you own 0.1 of a Bitcoin regardless of the current price, regardless of the daily news or where the market's taken with short-term manipulation. You own 0.1 of the scarcest asset on the planet, 0.1 of 21 million of the scarcest piece of property on the planet that every human on the planet needs. If you do the work, if you read the Bitcoin books, okay, watch our content, take our courses, plug myself, no problem, okay, or read other books, you'll understand, okay? You own 0.1 and nobody can ever print you out of that. If you're a millionaire today, they're going to print money. Your million's not going to buy you half as much stuff in 10 years' time. You're being diluted. If you're into property, well, guess what? They're building properties today. People are getting keys. My brother got the keys to a house yesterday. Okay? They're building more. They're diluting your investment. Okay? People are going to die. Just like, you know, the world population isn't expanding anymore. So all your property, it's like, well, people are going to start dying, and then what happens to the property? And we keep building more. It's like suddenly it's not the amazing asset that it always was. Because what worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to work in the future forever. Okay, so understand that. You got to detach yourself from the daily price, the weekly price, the monthly price, the yearly price, and understand the big picture. And I'm not telling you, I shouldn't tell you to do this. I'm just telling you this is what I've done. It's worked out well. Okay, I got to retire early, get to come to Spain, live out here for a couple of months in the winter, in the camp van, and go surfing every day. You know, it's a good lifestyle. I got my time back. It doesn't matter what you do with your time. It's like, I enjoy this. This is how I want to use my time. And you just got to be humble. You got to understand, you're not a genius, okay? None of us are. I'm not. Well, maybe you are a genius, okay? But if you're watching this video, you're probably not. Okay? You possibly are in other aspects of life, but definitely not in Bitcoin investing. Because I'd have been watching your videos years ago if you were. Okay, so you just got to be humble and realize you don't have to buy the very bottom. You don't have to get Bitcoin at the very cheapest, but it makes sense to me to accumulate it and to stack it. And it doesn't matter what the price goes. Every month I still own more Bitcoin. I've done that all the way through the bear market. And, you know, even if you started when Bitcoin was at the all-time high of the 2021 cycle, your net worth is up about 40%, 50% now. Like, that's phenomenal. Your pension doesn't do that in a decade, guys. You know, in terms of performance returns. And this is like, 11 months, so it's crazy stuff, really. You got to pay attention to it. Emotions wreck us. When we try and use our emotions to make our decisions, it only gets us into trouble. Okay, so we have to detach from emotions when you're trying to, and a lot of you guys are on this channel and you're Bitcoiners and you've dollar cost average right through the bear market, or you took positions in the bear market. You mightn't have got the very bottom, but I'm sure you got really good entries into Bitcoin if you didn't use your emotions. If you use your emotions and you let yourself trade and you listen to YouTubers going on about the very cheapest bit of Bitcoin, you've got wrecked. But you've learned the lesson. You've learned, okay, I get what that mad Egypt is saying now. He's been saying it for years. I finally understand why he never trades, why he dollar cost averages, why he doesn't ever need to buy the bottom of any Bitcoin crash. Emotions get us in trouble. All right, in everything, I guess, in life. That's the whole thing of being a Buddhist, isn't it? Or a Buddhist. The Zen, you know, trying to detach from the ego and the emotion. But in investing, certainly that's true. So, hope you got some value out of that. My rule is, it's your rite of passage. It's your scar to buy Bitcoin and for it to trade down a little bit, okay? But if you're prepared to do your 4-year apprenticeship, I think you'll be okay. Every other human on the planet has been. There's no guarantee that continues, but all you can do as an investor is look at fundamentals and balance risk and it looks highly likely you're going to be okay. All this fundamental news that's ahead of us, it's just like, oh my god, it's so obvious now where this thing's going. Have a super day, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, give it a nice little press for me. Throw a comment in, let me know where you're listening from. Do we have any Spanish lads here? Wouldn't mind meeting a few Spanish lads and explaining what's going on in this place with the language barrier. Some things just don't make sense to me, but I love it here. It's a beautiful part of the world in northern Spain. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for being part of the community. And yeah, guys, have a super day. Great to have you here. Great to see you. Great to talk to you. Any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Dinny out.